Welcome to a little Risk of Rain 2 build showcase. We're gonna take a look at the new equipment added in the 1.0 update, Forgive Me Please, and see how shamelessly broken it is in combination with the right items. If you're playing with the artifact of command, you're guaranteed a god run after at least Abyssal Depths or Siren's Call respectively, and you will obliterate Mithrix every time, even on Monsoon. So let's get into it. This build is applicable to each and every survivor, as we are mostly not even gonna attack after the first stage. I mean it. Just choose whichever survivor you like best or want the Monsoon skin for. I'm gonna do this run with the captain as he's just a blast to play with in the early game. After that we're gonna crank up the difficulty, select the artifact of command and press ready. While it's loading me in, let me tell you that I managed to get this build several times during normal play. It's not rare by any means and can be achieved pretty often in a no artifacts run, as it only really needs 2 items as its base. First things first, we're progressing through the first stage normally, looking for chests and equipment barrels. Look around if you can spot a Newt altar, if not, or it's inaccessible, restart your run. We want to get swole fast. So we got no time to waste. You'll need a minimum of 1 Lunar coin for this to work, but around 3 or 5 are better to perfect the build. For white items you want something like Gasoline or Monster Tooth in the early game. Gasoline ignites all enemies within a 12-meter radius as an on-kill effect. Enemies burn for 150% base damage each. Monster Tooth on the other hand spawns a healing orb that heals for 8 plus 8 per stack health on kill. If you come across a green item in the first stage, mainly take Will-o'-the-Wisp, which spawns an explosion dealing a whopping 350% base damage in a 12-meter radius, or a fuel cell, giving you 1 additional charge for your equipment. Speaking of equipment, we of course want Forgive Me Please, an item that throws out a cursed stall, triggering any on-kill effects you have every second for a total time of 8 seconds. Mind that only 3 can be active at the same time, a laughable trying to stop us from becoming literal gods. If you feel comfortable with your skills, focus on getting movement items like the Goat Hoof, Red Whip, Wax Quail or Hapu Feather. Next, after having activated the Newt altar, you just have to kill the boss and... well, again, equipment, some white items, a green item, and most importantly, the Newt altar. Kill the boss, for real this time, and proceed through the blue portal. Welcome to the Bazaar Between Time, our best friend in the run. Not only does it allow us to snag 2 incredibly tasty Lunar items, it also gives us entrance to the arguably best environment in the game, the Void Fields. Why not Wizard? We have suffocation effects, a pilgrimage from cell to cell each time, enemy item combos with the potential to one-hit you, and last but not least, waiting. A whole lot of waiting. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. In the Bazaar, take the Gas Shafted round, effectively bringing the cooldown of our cursed stall down to 50% or 23 seconds, and activating it whenever it's ready. While it does sound annoying, it's practically a quality of life improvement later in the run. If you're feeling comfortable, also take the Shaped Glass, which effectively doubles your base damage. As compensation, it also tries to halve your health, parentheses on tries, as later in the run we'll have the potential of having as much HP as we want. The sky's the limit, really. Next, let's just speedrun through this element, picking up a good mixture of movement and on-kill effect items on the way. And finally, our guaranteed legendary. As you know, the Cursed Stall triggers any and all on-kill effects 8 times in a row every second. So what better item to pick than the Soulbound Catalyst? Every kill reduces the cooldown of our equipment by 6 seconds, effectively making it charge itself. Also, the gesture of the round makes it so we won't have to actually press the equipment button ourselves and just conveniently place it whenever it's ready. Look at that cooldown.
Nice.
Now that the base items have been acquired, we're gonna go completely crazy. We're going to break the fucking game.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Now with our Soulbound Catalyst in the bag, we can start collecting the most important item for long-term profit. Literally. Say hello to the infamous Gorz Tome, an item that adds a 4% chance to drop a money treasure on kill with its value scaling over time. Admittedly, a 4% chance is not a lot, even when coupled with 3 dolls triggering it 3 times every second. But luckily for us, every stack of Gorz Tome adds another 4% on top of that, adding up linearly, which means that 2 tomes give us an 8% chance, 3 tomes 12%, and so on. With that in mind, acquiring at least 3 tomes gives us a pretty consistent source of income without the need to ever really kill any enemies. So if we ever spot a chest we want, all we have to do is lean back and watch the money roll in.
Give me your fucking money!
From now on out, keep your eyes open for any big chests you can find. We're on the lookout for a second legendary item, the Ceremonial Dagger. Even if you don't manage to find a legendary drop, a guaranteed red item can be found on either Abyssal Depths or Siren's Call, whichever one you get. The Ceremonial Dagger is a legendary item that fires out 3 homing daggers that deal 150% base damage every time an enemy is killed. Perfect for a cursed doll. After acquiring the dagger, you basically never have to attack or use an ability again, as even if you try it, the probability is high that any enemy that spawns immediately dies a second later. After the legendary, our choice of item shifts. We want to focus on endurance and movement. We won't be needing any more gasolines or Will-o'-the-Wisps anymore. Instead, pick the Topaz Brooch if you find white items, which gives the survivor a temporary barrier on kill for 15 health. Every stack increases this temporary barrier by 15, but because of the frequency it's applied, you won't be needing any more than maybe 3 maximum. Also pick Tougher Times every now and again, as it gives you a 15% chance to block any damage you'd receive. Should you find green items, take the Infusion, an item that increases your health permanently by 1 on kill, up to a maximum of 100 health. Every stack bumps your health up by another 100 HP, so the more, the better. If you are lucky and find more legendary items, you have 3 main options. Either you take another Ceremonial Dagger, bumping up the damage by yet another 150%, or you pick the 57 Leaf Clover, increasing the odds of random effects triggering. And finally, you can also pick the Interstellar Desk Plant, an item that, after having been planted on kill, heals you for 10% of your max HP every second for a duration of 10 seconds. Add that to the amount of cursed dolls triggering the effect and you get healed to 100% every second if you stand in its radius. Even though I didn't pick the desk plant in the run I'm showcasing, you can imagine it looking like this. An absolute particle light show. So with everything equipped and the doll in our bag, we're finally ready to take on Mithrids. Hey! Here on the right you can see every item used in this run. If you want, try this build out yourself, as it's legitimately one of the most fun item combos to play with and very easy to do. It's also great for simply acquiring some skins if you're still missing some. Recording and editing this video was frankly a blast, so thanks for watching, really. If you even had a little bit of fun, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. See you in the next video. Have a good one.